speaker is a man who needs no introductions in these halls, a great supporter of life and religious freedom. He's the governor of Kansas, Sam Brownback.
Yeah!
Bigger rally at the State House than this one. It is fantastic, it is encouraging, and you've had speakers from coast to coast here recognizing what's taking place in the state of Kansas. If the people of Kansas will not go quietly, we are going to fight for our religious liberty. Showing that. I want to recognize first all the state legislators that are here. If you're a state legislator, hold your hand up. There are a lot of them I've seen in the room. Or stand up, please. The president is here. Thanks for guys for being here. I fought for religious liberty around the world when I was in the United States Senate. Now we're having to fight for it at home. And we must fight for it. Religious liberty is at the heart of who we are as Kansans and Americans. Our country was built on the value of freedom, and it was built on religious liberty. You heard the first speaker speak about that. But it's for each generation to fight for their freedoms, and we must fight for ours for religious liberty. This simple belief was shared by political leaders of both parties. This was a nonpartisan issue. It was shared across the aisles. Unfortunately, it is not the same today. For centuries, our nation has been a beacon of light and liberty around the world. Religious liberty for all people. Our nation has at its core this right in its founding. The point is that religious liberty is not a spoil of government, dispensed to those who have the most votes. Religious liberty is a natural right for everyone. And indeed, as some of the speakers have already spoken, without religious liberty, we are not truly free. Without religious liberty, we exist only as political or economic entities, not as free human beings. This is about freedom of conscience. It's about freedom of your soul. In many respects, religious liberty is our first freedom, protecting the dignity and sacredness of the human conscience, of the human soul. And indeed, if I could remind you, the very motto of our nation is, "In God we trust." That's on our coin. That's who we are. Today we gather here in this place to stand united for religious liberty. We stand united for the principle that every human has dignity and the right to practice their religion free from unjust government coercion. You have that right. It would be tempting to avoid the fight before us. But we're not called to do what is easy. We are called to do what is right. And it is right to stand for that religious liberty and freedom. This country faces serious challenges, within and without. Many of you may be feeling tired. You've been in these fights before. Your shoulders are weary, and the work is daunting. So rest if you need to, but don't quit. We need you now more than ever. Don't grow weary. We need you. We live in the greatest nation on the face of the earth. We are fighting to ensure that this country remains a light in the darkness, a city on a hill, an example of freedom and hope. We will not go silently into the night.
Right.
We will not give up, on freedom. Remember who you are and what you're fighting for. You're fighting for freedom, for you and for those who follow you. Together we will build. We will build strong families. We will build strong communities. We will build a strong nation based on these freedoms. And at the core is religious liberty, religious freedom. Together we will fight to restore and keep religious liberty in America. And the fight begins here and now.
Yeah!
God bless you all.